Land was stolen under apartheid. It still hasn't been given back. This is a CNN report that came out November 20th, 2018. Now, we know they have started the land seizures already. And there are many that have been passing this land down through the generations, and it was stolen during apartheid. And the thing is, apartheid really was not that long ago, so people are still alive and can still remember their land being taken away. And many can remember being violently forced off of their land. People were killed. People were ran off by gunpoint. And these folks have the audacity to believe they should keep the land and should not have to give it back to the rightful owner. They think, woo, it takes an arrogant prick, don't it? Well, anyway, the process has began. Let's hope that these South Africans can finally get their land back. When Nelson Mandela and the African National Congress came to power in South Africa in 1994, one of the key dilemmas they faced was the so-called land question. The policy was pushed non-white South Africans off the land to benefit whites, okay? And they're saying that all of this began in 1913, and it stretched all through the centuries. It actually started before then. So at one point in time, and still, many of the Black ownership of the land was only at 7%, which is outrageous. You got a majority Black population that only has 7% of the land, and you got these alien Dutch invaders that are sitting there with the rest of the land, which makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no sense. And even President Ramaphosa said, there were people in his family that it happened twice where they had land taken away from them. So, so that actually makes sense that he would go along with this, that these people need to get their land back. So it happened within his own family where people were moved off the land and displaced. So as it is now, the poverty that we have in South Africa, in part, has been given rise to by the people not having assets. That's right. The racist geographic has accelerated during the apartheid years when legislation codified the Nationalist Party aim to keep races physically separated. Can you imagine that? Being a foreigner in somebody's land and then demanding separation? See, that's why nobody will take these South Africans, because if they come in your land, if you take them in, as soon as they step foot in your land, they're going to start all that mess up. They're going to try to apartheid the place. Anywhere they go, they're going to try to turn it into another apartheid. So Blacks and mixed race South Africans were moved from cities and pushed into townships or homelands, land allotted to non-white according to their ethnic identity. So, of course, these white people are going to move them into the worst possible land while they keep the best land. I mean, how typical, a global phenomena. They had to have a passbook. So, in other words, whenever Black people traveled to their area, when colonialism was going on, they had to have some type of passbook and identity, and all that stuff was required. Just like colonialism, they had to wear identity tags and, oh, get out of here with that crap. Maybe they should be identifying themselves. And Ladysmith, The nearest town of Besters. The black spots in town were erased in the 1970s. The non-white families forced out to a township called Ezek Henny, some 15 miles away, with the avert. Let me just go down a little. More than a decade ago, the commercial farmers investors held hundreds of meetings with the local community. As a result, with the help of government money, they have redistributed almost half of their district land. It complicated, and there are many layers of history and many layers of conflict. But if you put everybody around the table and you talk to each other openly and honestly, you can find each other, said Henderson. Okay, so this black man right here, he said, this is a farmer. And he used his land to pull his family out of poverty. So there you go. But see, that's what land can do. With land, you can grow. And with what you can grow, that stuff becomes priceless. You can sell that and you can feed your family. You don't have to rely on others in order to eat. When we were growing up, we had no idea how this farm worked. But our grandkids have the opportunity to learn properly now. I can pass that knowledge to them, Kosa said. In our district, I have 5 neighbors, and they all are different colors, but we live happily together, and there's a place in the sun for all of us, says Henderson. Wow. That doesn't sound like the norm in South Africa, though. It does not sound like the norm. South Africa agriculture and land ownership, percentage owned by government and previously disadvantaged individuals. Can you imagine that? This is all of South Africa, okay? And only 7% of the black people own land there. And the rest of the land is in the hands of these outsiders that invaded their way in. Wow. A lot is at stake, said Ramaphosa. You can even say that the stability of the country is at stake. And I am not fond of failing at anything. And this issue, we will not fail on. The ANC, pushed by an insurgent opposition party on the left, has resolved to amend the Constitution to explicitly allow land redistribution without compensation. It is a highly contentious move that is working through a parliamentary process. While Henderson, Kosa, and other farmers of Bester managed to broker a negotiated future for the land in their rural slice of South Africa. Now, here's my question. Once they get the land back, they should be able to farm and do whatever they want. I wonder if South Africa, like Zimbabwe with their tobacco, are setting up deals where once they get the land back and they grow on the land, they can start trading with the outside world, because a lot of that poverty will go away if they can start trading just like in Zimbabwe, just on the tobacco alone, a lot of people are now finally getting out of poverty. So I wonder if, Africa got those kind of deals set up. It would be nice if they do, it would be really nice if they can get themselves some good deals and start trading with other nations, whatever they grow. They said the extreme could, let me just go down a little. We are getting drowned out by the rhetoric and by the noise of the politicians and the noise of others, says Henderson on a balcony of his farmhouse. It is difficult to galvanize the middle because we tend to be more silent than the extreme. The middle needs to have their voice heard. No, you don't. You need to give the land back. You need to live that. I don't care about all that babbling these people are doing. They need to give the land back. No, there was no agreement when they took the land, right? Was anybody agreeing and negotiating then? No, they took the land. So no, you just go in there and you take the land. That's how I see it. Go in there and take the land. Just like they took it, take it back. No negotiation. It'd be nice for these people to get their land back. They can work the land, get some livestock and grow in the fields. And these folks do the backbreaking work on these farms anyway. And I was reading a lot about, what the South Africans were saying, and they were saying a lot of this land is just sitting there unused. And these folks are whining and complaining about the land going back to these Black people, and the land is just sitting there. Get out of here. I don't feel sorry for you. If you didn't buy the land and you don't have a deed showing that this land belongs to you, I don't feel sorry for you that the land is being taken. I don't feel sorry for you even a little bit. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. I hope a year from now that they have more than half of the land given back to the Black people or more. But we shall see how fast this will go. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.